This is Andy's DIY. I'm working with a Delta Shopmaster miter saw. I thought I needed to take the shield off in order to change the blade out, which you don't have to. I'm going to show you how to put the shield, the protective blade shield, back on with the spring that goes on with it. So the first thing you want to do, go ahead and take this inner washer off. That'll give you some room to slip this screw in from the back side here. You want to come in from the back here with this down. And I'll put the camera down, but you'll slip that through there. Okay, next, you're going to take your shield like it was sitting on there. You just take it, set it straight down like this. My spring's a little different than some of the other models, but mine, it tapers down smaller toward the front, so that's what goes on first, and you'll see the small little hole right there. Just drop this little tab in that hole. And once that's in here, you're going to take this in here, and you'll line it up with that tab right there. And you just put it on. Of course, you're going to need to hold on to the back of this. Once you got that in place, you can come back over the top of this with this cover nut, this cover here. Then you put the little nut on over that and tighten it all down. I'll show you that here in just a second. So I took this inner spacer off here. Took that off just to give myself more room for my hands here. I got the screw through there, and I put the nut back on there just loosely, just so as you're fumbling with this thing, getting it on here, it's not in your way. And that'll kind of hold it there until you're ready to tighten it all down. So I did actually slide the spring, the little part in here, just up just a little bit where it made connection, but that's what you get right there. So once you get to that point, then you got to bring in your plate that connects to the arm here that retracts it. Now I feel like for me the easiest way to get this thing attached to your shield, just go ahead and take this arm off, connect it to your shield first, and then reconnect it back here. I think that'll be a little easier. You won't be fighting it up here where you're trying to hold everything together. Okay, so now you're at this point here. I took the nut back off the middle here. And the next thing is put this on. This has got 3 slots in it, and you can see the slots that are marked. I don't want to let this go, but you've got one here, here, and here, and it just goes on one way. You slide that forward carefully, not knocking the screw out right here. And then put your nut on there. Once you get that on, then you can put your arm on, and it should go pretty quickly from there. But right now, I'm just holding in place with my thumb here. All right, so I've got that retained here. This nut here, I was able to reach in here with my hands along this back side here, and I was able to put my finger on this to hold it in place. And once I got started, then I just screwed it on there. And I used that nut is what is it? It's I guess I used a 9 socket here, 9mm. So the next thing to do is to put this back on here, and this, like I said, just bolts back on there, and it just slips right over that. Slide it all the way down into place here, and then screw it back on. And then after, of course, get your saw blade back in place, and then just line that back up and put your screw back through there. Apparently, some people have had issues with theirs having to drill theirs out. There's a video on that, but once that screw's back, you're back in action. So I guess in the beginning of this, which I now know, changing out your saw blade, leave all this hooked up. Once you slip that out, this whole thing should slide back out of the way, like that. It should give you access to what you need. You do not need to take this off. I now know that, so there you go. That's how you put this cover back on. So here's everything back together here. Good luck.